to my YouTube channel. I'm excited that you are here watching yet another video. If this is your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome again. And if you have been here before, I pray that the videos that I have been sharing have been enlightening, encouraging, and have brought you some sense of comfort, especially to those that have navigated a heartbreaking divorce. Now, I know you are in expectation of more videos and more strategies and more teaching and instruction, and I'm so thrilled that I have a lot more content to share with you. But today, I just feel that I want to take a pause and I want to redirect your focus to the one who can heal you from all your sorrows, and that is God. Now, I know that we live in a time that there's so much information. There are so many things available to us. We are in a time of information overload. And especially with the digital age, there's so much access to material that we have. And I'm thankful we have self-help tips. We have access to, ministries online and different ways that we can cope with our pain effectively. So I'm very, very grateful. However, I want to redirect your focus to God, because I have found in my walk engaging with other people that have been heartbroken, that have gone through deception, that have been through something that really just caused a lot of pain, and they've tried it all. But when you put God at the forefront, when you remember that He is your healer and everything comes from Him, then your coping strategies will start to shift and change. And that is the focus of this video, is that I want you to go through your healing journey, but I want you to do it with God. I want to encourage you to surrender everything to God. Listen, go to therapy, because I'm an advocate for it, okay? I still go to therapy. Engage in community. Talk to your friends. But always remember that you must remain anchored in God. And that if you don't invite God in the process, the journey is going to be a lot more difficult for you. But when you surrender your all to God and you remember and you acknowledge His power and His sovereignty in the process, you will start to see how the load will lighten for you. And I have to make this pause, because one thing you will see throughout my channel is that I'm going to exalt the name of God here. Because yes, I had a team that helped me, that poured into me, mentors that directed me, that gave me wise counsel. Yes, I have friends. Yes, I go to therapy. Yes, all of those things are there, and I access them and I use them for my benefit. But when I realized that my hope is in Jesus and that God is my healer and He is my source, then everything in my mindset shifted. Because we often rely heavily on strategies, coping mechanisms, and things that are supposed to be used as a supplement, or are supposed to be used in conjunction with your walk with God. But when you go focus back on God and you remember who He is in your life, and you acknowledge that He's the one who's supposed to be guiding you and leading you in this process, then everything changes. When we rely heavily on everything else but God, what's going to happen is you are going to often feel frustrated, and you will experience moments of disappointment. Because what's going to happen if your friend is not there for you? What's going to happen if your therapist cannot attend to your call? What's going to happen if you can't join the community group? So when you have God at the forefront, and when you have God as priority, He is there available to you 24/7, 365, or in the leap year, 366 days out of the year. The other day I was studying Jehovah Rapha. And Jehovah Rapha means our God, our healer. And Rapha is spelled, I want you to hear closely to this. Rapha is spelled R-A-P-H-A. Okay, Rapha, which means our God is our healer. Now, there's a similar term in Hebrew that is spelled R-A-P-H-A-H. And I'm going to share this in the description so at your leisure you can study more profoundly. This other term, Rapha, that has a similar pronunciation, it means to let go. When I saw these two Hebrew terms, healing and let go, I come to the conclusion that your healing is found in God when you surrender and let go. Your healing will come when you surrender logic. We live in a time that we are so analytical. We live in a time that we question everything, and rightfully so. But you must know and you must understand that when you want God to be your healer, you have to surrender you. You have to surrender what you know. You have to surrender your intellect. You have to surrender sometimes even the resources outside of God. Until God is your primary healer, until God is first in your life, you will forever search for a healing that is superficial. You will forever search for a healing that is not lifelong and long-term. Any healing method outside of God will give you short-term satisfaction, but it will not give you the healing that you need for your soul. So I wanted to make this video as a sacred pause to remind you that your healer is God. And I want to encourage you to navigate this healing journey. And I want you to do it again, but do it again this time with God. If you don't know Jesus, if this is the first time that you're hearing about God, I invite you and I give you the invitation to accept him as your Lord and Savior. He is the only one that can heal your soul. He is the only one that can save your soul. And until he is your Lord, until you are submitted to his lordship, you will forever try to search a satisfaction. You will forever search for something that can fill the void that only God can fill. So listen, do it again. You are watching this video not by coincidence, not by a mistake. You still have time. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, if your heart is beating, it's because today is a new day. Today, he wants to give you a Rapha experience. He wants you to let go of what you think you know, how you think you should do this, and surrender to him. Give it to him. Give your burdens to him. Give your pain to him, because he's here to lift up every one of your burdens. He says, my yoke is easy. And the yoke that you've been carrying, the weight that you've been carrying has been crushing you. But God is here to remind you today that he's here to lift each and all your burdens. So I pray this encourage you. I pray that you do it again and you do it with God. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week with another video. Bye-bye. On my own.